Okay, today we're going to be showing you how to replace the LCD screen on an ASUS model R510L. The first step is we need to remove the battery. And on the back side of here of the laptop, you got a locking button for the battery. Open that one, press the other button open, battery pops out. So, since I've already taken the laptop screen off, I'll show you what I did with it in the current state. The first thing is in the bottom left and right corner of the monitor section of the laptop, these small rubberized sticky little screw caps. You pry those off using, in my case I used a penknife. You pry the caps off, it exposes silver screws right here on both sides. You remove those two screws. The next step is I took the penknife and gently pried the case, the front of the laptop monitor screen, pried this loose and gently worked my way down all the way around the screen, and it pops off. The toughest part was down here in the corners. Got to be careful to get it pried away there. Then this whole plastic piece lifts off. The next step was then to remove the four small black screws around the perimeter of the LCD screen. Once that's been removed, carefully take the screen, you gently rotate it forward, and there is the connector. And you can see I've already removed it, but there's this very sticky tape that's holding the connector in place. So you gently get underneath the tape, slowly pry the tape up. Be careful not, when you get to this point, you don't want to, I was careful not to yank it too hard. And at this point, the connector was still in there, and I was uncertain if I should try to pull on the back part of it. So instead of doing that, we used a small fine screwdriver, and we basically got on the edge of the connector and gently pushed it back out of the female side of the connector on the back of the LCD screen. So once we've done that, you remove the old laptop screen. Okay, now that we've removed the old LCD screen, we need to put in the replacement LCD screen. And you want to make sure that it is sitting on a cushion. You don't want to do anything to scratch or damage the new screen. So we talked about that connector. Now we need to reinsert the connector carefully into the back of the LCD screen. And as we did when we removed it, we're going to carefully use a small flathead screwdriver to push the connector into place. Once you've seated the connector, you then want to take that tape and carefully press it back into place on the back of the LCD screen to hold that in place. Now, we're going to lift the screen and we're going to want to insert it back into the frame and align it with the the four mounting screws. Be careful not to get the cable for the monitor Make sure it's not stuck behind anything so that it impinges. Then we want to put the 4 black screws into the 4 corners of the monitor. Okay, so before we put the case, the protective case around the LCD screen, let's go ahead and we'll plug in the laptop rather than to flip it over to put the battery in, and we're going to power it on and hopefully see that we've got a good working screen. Okay, we have success. We got a working LCD screen back in there. Before we put the plastic frame around the LCD, we need to carefully remove the protective cover on the front of there we go. Now, plastic frame goes back in place, and it snaps into place. Make sure it's engaged all the way around the screen. Okay, then we put the 2 silver screws back into the corners. Now that we got the 2 silver screws back in their place holding the frame in, we get to put the little plastic tabs back in place to, oops, yeah. Little plastic tabs just have a sticky covering on one side. Try to get those back in place, covering up the 2 screw locations. All right, we're all done.